Hi, folks. Andrew here, popcorn and whiskey. I this is the second time in a row I've done this. I wasn't supposed to be coming on yet. I'm still doing stuff in the background, so the music was supposed to keep going a little bit, but obviously it didn't. Why? Because I screwed up. That's why. But hey, when you're a professional like me, you have to own up to your screw ups. That's right. Unlike some news stations out there who don't, which is a whole nother issue. I don't think I'll even get into that tonight. But anyway, thanks for being here. Popcorn and whiskey. My name is Andrew. I am the face who runs the place. That's right. So that all being said, salute. Cheers. Here we go. Ah, at least I hope I'm live. At least I'm going to assume I'm live. Let me do this way just to see here. Hold on a second here. Oh wow, is this work even working? I think it is. So if you can hear me, let me know. If it's way too soft, which it shouldn't be, but if the and so if you're watching right now in the comments, let me know how the volume is because it just seemed like it was really, really low. Unless I just maybe I did something I turned my volume down a second ago, and it shouldn't be like that. And so everything else should be fine, should be dandy, all that good jazz. So tonight, what we're gonna be talking about is one of the things on my mind is Starbucks. Yes, Starbucks. And if you follow me, you know that I am not a big fan of Starbucks. I think it's way overpriced, and I think the coffee is a little burnt. But there is a story out there about Starbucks, and we'll talk about that. We're gonna talk about, um, online marketing, online businesses, if you will, what I believe works. Hi, Rayetta. Thank you. Thank you. You can hear me. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And for those who don't know right now, I actually have my popcorn as well. I also have the good stuff, bubbly. Here we go. Ah, yes. And I do break all the rules of, live streaming. You can hear me sip. You will hear me eat and chew on the radio. If that disgusts you, well, don't know what to tell you. That's part of the deal. That's part of what you get with me. Live, authentic, real. I will make mistakes, as you can see from already starting tonight. I, will misspeak. I will probably say a few things that I will regret saying later on, something like that. Something else I didn't realize, I'm wearing a white shirt, okay? With the lighting I have, probably not the best way to do this with the live shirt, with the white shirt. Probably not because it's oozing back whiteness onto my face and everything else, and it's this is an industry term. We call that being washed out, and when you're being washed out, it's just not good, for the, what's it called, aesthetics, whatever that word is. So, all that happens, you d just put a note for the next time. I have so many notes right now. It's, all that good stuff. So, what I should do is show you guys a video I did of my, I have to key it up somehow, of my studio behind the scenes and everything else, okay? So, tell you what, while you're here, let me show you a few things if you didn't know, 'cause it looks like I got several new people on here. Thank you for being here. I have multiple camera setups around everything. Now, I'll show you this one. You can see my messy desk once I, uh, engage this one. But I have a camera up behind me, up above, so to speak, looking down on me. And when you do this, see? Look at that, see? Here's my popcorn. You see I have 2 monitors going on here, 1, 2, and the key lights. Here's my drink. Salute you. So this is behind the scenes. You don't get this from too many podcasters out there or live streamers out there. You just don't get this. I have another camera, right over here. This is the main camera right here in front of me. I have another camera over here. It is. Hello, hello. Now this one's weird because it doesn't get closer here. It doesn't it resets every time I use it, and I don't like that because then I have to turn around and get closer. So I'm not a big fan of that one. My main camera is right in front of me. Uh-oh. Whoop, maybe not. Wait a second here. There we go. That's the main camera. That's what you're gonna see all the time. So when I do this, I just kinda like to come on and say hi and do different things. So, right off the bat, let's, talk about Starbucks. Yes, Starbucks coffee, and this is something I saw today, and I said, I need to talk about this 'cause, those who know me, those who follow me, um, JD, hi there, buddy. Let's see here. You know what, JD? Yeah, this ought to be good, so I can have somebody to bounce ideas off of here. Wait a second. Let me do something here, JD. My buddy JD, hello, Linda, is gonna be on here, and if you're a fan of the show, which I hope you are, JD comes on with me every so often, and we basically go on each other's show just to hang out and do stuff. He has a show coming up tonight on another network he's doing, and whoop, wait. I thought I got the right one, JD. Hold on a second, right? And because I'm doing this, I probably just lost half my crowd, but oh well, that's the way it goes. Okay, so now because of this, it's gonna make me do a bunch of other stuff, JD. Now, ugh, you're killing me here. Oh, now he says, give him a moment." Okay, alright. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about Starbucks, and when he comes on, I will bounce some ideas off of him, and we will talk about it, but those of you who know me know I'm not a big Starbucks fan at all. Hold on a second here. And the reason being, I think it's way overpriced. And what really turned me off from Starbucks a long time ago is when they first appeared on the scene, so to speak, at least in my areas. I don't know how long they've been coffee thing. I don't know. And maybe I was going to a Starbucks because back in mid 2000s, when I was hitting the internet stuff pretty hard, I was, basically at coffee shops all the time doing it. So I am sure I went to a Starbucks a couple of times then. And what really got me with the Starbucks is when they had the, something called a cafe latte. Now, if you did not know this, cafe latte is basically coffee and milk, is all it is, coffee with a little bit of milk in it, and you're paying 4 or $5 for a coffee and milk, okay? Yes, I get it. They're in business. They need to make money. I get it. And as long as people are gonna pay them for that, they're gonna keep selling it, which I don't blame them. I'm not blaming them for doing it. I'm blaming the idiots who's buying it. And cafe latte, here he comes on here, JD. Add to the screen. All right. I don't know if you're on here. Hold on a second, JD. Let's get you on here. There he is. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I am talking about Starbucks coffee, and I don't know if you're a Starbucks guy or not. Right?
I don't really drink coffee.
What? You don't drink coffee?
No, I don't really drink coffee.
Oh, dude, how are you and I friends? How are you and I friends is beyond me. Because I drink alcohol, you don't drink alcohol. I drink coffee, you don't drink coffee. You do other recreational drugs. This is call what it is. You do weed, I don't do weed.
Yeah. I mean, I have drank before, and I do drink once in a while, just not on the normal.
Okay. Well, I don't want I shouldn't say what I do is on the normal, but I mean, I do have a show called Popcorn and Whiskey, so there you go. But I also don't do it every night. And
if you're gonna have a show called Popcorn and Whiskey, it's probably not bad to have a glass of whiskey that you sip from time to time.
That's right, or some sort of spirits somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So, but the focus is right now on Starbucks. Okay, Starbucks has came out, and I'm going to play a video here in a second, and hopefully you're going to be able to hear it with everything coming on here. But One of the things about Starbucks that gets me or I don't like, and I was mentioning this, they have something called a cafe latte, which is anywhere from $4 to $7, I guess, depends on where you get it. It's basically coffee and milk. When my parents grew up in Italy, they were, let's just say, on the lower end of the income scale. Their families were, both of them, mom and dad both. And what the lower end of the income scale did back there for breakfast is they drank coffee lattes. They call it cafe latte. And that's American version. It's coffee latte. And so they drank that every morning. So mom just shakes her head when she sees people paying that much, because that's what poor people basically drank all the time back when she was growing up. And now it's like a premium drink. So it pisses me off when I see that. Again, I'm not blaming Starbucks for that, because they're in business to make money. And if people are going to buy it, so be it.
Starbucks is actually one of those one of those companies where you really can't blame them for anything. They are what they are because the consumers made them that way.
Yes. Well, absolutely. Absolutely. And I have no problem with that. So what we're going to do now, JD, if I can swing this. All right, here. So I have this news story about Starbucks, and I'll stop it every so often just so we can chime in on it. But this is something that Starbucks is doing, and I found this really fascinating. So
concerns are brewing tonight as Starbucks is expanding its corporate presence, but not in Seattle. Starbucks is getting ready to open a corporate office in Nashville later this year and plans to transfer some jobs from Seattle.
First of all, can you hear that, JD?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Good evening, I'm Molly Shen.
And I'm Preston Phillips. The coffee giant confirms the move does not mean it's leaving its global hub in Washington. The move has critics worried that Starbucks and other companies may be rethinking their commitment to the city. Couple Jackie Kent live this evening in Soto with new information from Starbucks staff. Jackie?
And questions remain about impacts to the Seattle office as the company follows in the footsteps of other large corporations that have moved corporate offices out of the city.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, first of all, why do you think they're moving out of Seattle?
Oh, because Seattle's a terrible place to be.
Okay, but why do you say that?
Mainly because of the people who are running it, the mayors, the governors there. You know, I mean, you remember the riot happened in Seattle. They had a whole section of the city, controlled themselves, where the cops wouldn't even enter sections of the city because they were controlled by people who didn't want them. So
I'm glad you said that, because I've seen this story today already. So I'm glad you said that, because it's going to be a part of it here coming up.
Places like Boeing and Amazon. Now, Starbucks says it is too soon to know just how big that Nashville office will be, but they will be offering positions to dozens of Seattle workers. Starbucks is expanding its corporate offices out of Seattle's Soto neighborhood. A new Nashville location will include Starbucks jobs for sourcing operations teams to work directly with Seattle HQ. It's another blow to Seattle, as this comes months after the coffee giant laid off 1,100 corporate employees globally, with more than 900 of them being in Seattle and Kent. Starbucks.
That's impressive right there, because I guess in Seattle, now I've never been to Seattle, but from what people tell me who have been there, or actually who live there, they say there's a coffee shop in almost every corner, with a lot of them being the Starbucks, because that's where it's based. So if they laid off 900 employees, most of them being in that area, that's a huge blow to them.
Yeah.
It's also shuttered its 2 world-famous Seattle Reserve Roastery locations last year, citing restructuring efforts. More friction came in November between the company's Starbucks union workers on the picket line and Seattle's new mayor.
I am proud to stand with union baristas in their fight for a fair contract and for a union. That is why I am proud to join them on their picket line, and proud to say loud and clear, I am not buying Starbucks, and you should not either.
Now, can you imagine the mayor of your city, no matter what city you're in, coming out and saying, I will not be supportive of a business in my city?
That's exactly why they're leaving right there. That's exactly it right there.
That's just ludicrous. I can understand if a mayor comes out and say, hey, listen, folks, we need to support them, or we don't want them to go, or such and such and such. But if they're on strike and they're wanting to leave, and the mayor comes out and says, you know what, screw you, I'm going to boycott you as well. Oh yeah, that's going to get me incentive to stay.
Yeah, and also you can't expect. Listen, I all this talk about wages and stuff, and that's a whole long conversation that we don't need to get into right now. But I just want to say that you can't. There's no business model where you pay somebody $25 an hour to pour coffee. You're right. That's not a business model. You can't do that. Okay. This whole thing about where you want to be paid more, you want to be paid more. Go find a job that pays more.
Mm-hmm.
That's how open. That's how this economy that we have works. You know, free market enterprise. That's how it works. It's controlled by the consumers. They have a lot of business because people buy their coffee. They're not going to pay you $20, $25 an hour to pour coffee and to make coffee because it's not worth $20 to $25 an hour to pay. In fact, if they could bring their costs down for the baristas, maybe they wouldn't have to charge $15 for a cup of coffee.
Exactly. Well, let's finish up and see what she has to say in the rest
when
of the
asked
story.
What specifically prompted this expansion, the company referred us to an internal memo describing plans for growth in the central U.S., the South, and parts of the Northeast. Starbucks Chief Supply Chain Officer Sanjay Shah said having a hub in the Southeast gives them greater proximity to key suppliers and a large talent pool of workers.
I think the CEO has to do something drastic because their stock price is down 13% in last year.
Workforce commentator Thomas Fellows says it makes sense for the company to expand in Tennessee, where, like Washington, there is no state income tax, plus there are other benefits.
Okay, that I did know. I did not know Washington did not have state income tax. See, that was one of the reasons I thought they were moving because of that, but that's not one of the reasons. Okay, makes sense.
Be a lower cost of living and lower salary expectations.
Which is what you just said, JD.
And today, Starbucks staff in an email confirmed that Seattle remains the North America and Global Support HQ. In just the past half hour, I spoke with the CEO of the Seattle Chamber of Commerce about the impact here in Seattle and overall reaction to this expansion. We'll be hearing from him coming up at 6:30. For now, live in Soto, Jackie Kent, KOMO News.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so that's KOMO, KOMO News in Seattle. There you go.
It seems like that's just going to be a ploy there. This is just another HQ to expand into the Midwest. No, I guarantee you by the end of the year, most of their operations are in Tennessee and they have almost no one in Seattle.
Mm-hmm. The main thing I took from that is they're moving there because it's a lower cost of living. And like you just said, if you're paying a barista $20 an hour to pour coffee, you're not going to make the best profit in the world, that's for certain. And if you can go to a city where the cost of living is less and you can pay a barista, let's say even $15 an hour to pour coffee, which is still high, but hey, if you're saving $5 an hour per individual, that's a pretty good chunk going to your bottom line there.
Yeah, Washington, California, a lot of businesses are moving out of those states with some of the political policies in place that don't help businesses grow and thrive.
Mm-hmm.
People always think that you tax the businesses or tax the richest 1% or tax the wealthiest. If you look at the tax brackets in our country, the wealthiest people actually pay for more of this country than anybody else does already. So you're talking about income taxes of like upwards of 45% in some places. That's almost half your income being gone. Who wants to work if half your income is being gone? You got to think about that too. Who would want to do that if someone is taking half of your income? I wouldn't want to work as hard.
Oh, you're right. I've been saying something for years, and I finally heard Joe Rogan say this the other day, and I said, you know what? Whether you like Rogan or not is irrelevant.
I do.
And I do too. But if you're listening to this, whether you like him or not is irrelevant. But when you hear people say, well, the rich aren't paying their fair share. Okay, my first question is, what is their fair share? Tell me a figure what their fair share is. And if you want the rich to pay more so it can go toward the economy or go through the taxes or what have you, that's great. But then when the tax dollars go to alleged fraud everywhere, why would the rich want to agree to pay more?
Yeah.
That's why they're leaving these places where they have to pay more. Well, I think that's one of the reasons why.
Yes.
So come on, stop the fraud. Or
stop taxing.
I gotta say the alleged fraud.
Yeah, the alleged fraud. Oh, you already got the warning. The YouTube already came up and said, "Oh, this person's talking."
That would make me feel good because that means that's actually somebody's watching me. That's good.
But yeah, the fraud, and listen, the state doesn't. You any way you slice it, the state, for the most part, doesn't run things better. Private enterprise usually runs things better. So, and there's usually less fraud in it. So
usually, yes.
Not always. I mean, there's not always. Of course not. There's nothing that's foolproof. There's nothing that's perfect in this world because we're humans and we're greedy, and
yes,
that's just the way it is.
Which is speaking of that, which is another thing, and I didn't want to go this route tonight, but you and I usually we venture off into one or two things, either pro wrestling or political wise, and it's now we're venturing into toward a political thing, which is a whole other thing. About a year ago, what was the big main topic going on? Doge. It was Doge. What the argument against Doge, I didn't get it. They were in there finding where our tax dollars were going.
The people who were complaining are the people who are benefiting from the fraud.
Yeah, I never understood
why they're
that.
Complaining.
I look at it at myself here. If I had an independent company come in and say, okay, we want to audit you to see where your money's going. And at first I would be reluctant, like, really, you want to do that? But then if they started finding out my money's going to all these weird places, I would say, thank you for doing that. Thank you. You know? I can understand the hesitancy at first, but once they started discovering this stuff, the naysayers will say, well, they didn't discover anything, blah, blah, blah. Like, really? Okay.
You would have hesitancy because it's your money. But someone else is managing all of our money. So I don't have a problem with someone independent or an independent company coming in and auditing the guys who are managing our money, because I'm not the one managing it, and neither are you. If I was one managing it, then maybe I would take offense.
Good point.
But I'm not the one managing it, and I don't have a problem with someone else checking on the people who are managing.
This is true. This is true, and that reminds me of have you seen these commercials on television where I guess there's an app that you can download or something. They'll tell you if you're paying something double or triple per month. Like, if you don't know you're paying something like a Netflix subscription, if you don't know you're paying 2 Netflix,
I didn't realize
you're an idiot.
Yeah, what are you doing? How are you managing your money? Go back to school. I learned how to manage balance a checkbook. I think if it wasn't in elementary school, it was definitely in middle school. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, there's people that have problems with simple math, simple spelling, simple biology.
I can biology. yeah.
I got the wrong background up. Let me switch that right quick.
Okay. Yeah, because my thing is, if you're I can understand it if you got suckered in and you're paying $25 a month for Netflix. Okay, I get it. You got suckered into it. Easily solved. Let me get to the price of 14, 15, 16 bucks, whatever it is. All right. But if you're paying 2 subscriptions, you're the idiot. You're a major idiot at that point, in my opinion. And that was just the example that they used.
I've seen those commercials. Every time it's on, I'm like, really? You don't realize you're paying for 3 Netflix memberships and 2 Paramount memberships? How could you not know that? And when did you set up additional accounts? Why would you even do that if you had one?
Yep.
I mean, if someone showed that to me, I'd be calling my bank. I'd be like, yo, someone has my card. Cancel it.
I can understand if you're, extremely wealthy and you don't really pay attention to it, but come on now. Most extremely wealthy people that I know, at least, have somebody, if it's not them, at least they have somebody who monitors their monthly finances. Whether it be a spouse or a secretary or a company or something, it monitors that. Yeah. And if you're a person who's monitoring it, doesn't catch you paying 2 or 3 Netflix subscriptions, guess what? You're fired, baby.
Yeah, 100%.
Just that simple.
Yeah. I agree with you. It's complete. It's crazy. Every time I see those, I'm like, I don't believe this at all. It's so unbelievable to me. Like, I haven't even met anyone or saw anybody that's like, oh, wow, really? I have more than one account? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any kind of sense to me.
Now, I can understand if you bought a shirt and you have it in your closet, and 3 months later you go to the store, hey, I like that shirt, and you buy a shirt, and it's the same shirt. I've done that. Guys forgot I had it, but it's not a monthly reminder on my statement showing me that I have it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, gee whiz. So anyway, so JD, what's going on with you, buddy? Are you all moved in? I know for those who are watching, JD changed living locations about a month ago.
Yeah, I
Less
moved
than a
in.
month
Yeah, it
ago.
was February 20th was the day I moved in. Before that, I had spent almost 8 weeks in a hotel. And before that, we were asked to move out a month. Were given a month to move out of our place. So yeah, it's been a crazy 3 or 4 months here, but yeah, we're getting settled in here more and more each day. I got all my stuff set up, and the only thing that's really lacking in the house is the pictures and stuff that we put on the walls. The decorative stuff now at this point is really the only thing that's lacking. So
Now, is this a house or an apartment that you're
no,
in?
it's just an apartment right now. We'll be
Apartment,
here
okay.
for a year or two, and then I'm just gonna buy a place because me and my mom are done moving.
Good for you.
So
Good for you. You going to stay in that location because you're outside of Philadelphia? You going to stay there, or are you planning on looking at?
yeah, we'll stay in this area. Yeah, we'll stay in this area. I mean, in the general area, not necessarily the exact area that I'm in right now, or even the area that I just moved from. But yes, in the central Pennsylvania area here in the Susquehanna Valley is what they call it.
Okay, all right. Are you a Pirates or a Phillies fan?
Philadelphia all the way, not Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Too bad.
Pittsburgh's too far. And I learned to drive actually right outside of Pittsburgh. It's called Johnstown. It's like a suburb of Pittsburgh. And that's where I used to learn to drive a vehicle. Actually, that's where I actually had vehicle training so I could drive a van myself.
Okay. And those who don't know, that JD's in a wheelchair. So
yes, I'm in a wheelchair. I have arthrogryposis multiplex congenita. No, I just didn't sneeze right then. And yeah, I learned to drive. It was in Johnstown, and I wasn't really a fan of that place, and it's outside of Pittsburgh, so I might be a little tainted by that location because I wasn't really a fan of where I learned to drive.
Fair enough. And see, also you have what we're talking about. Say you have a couple of podcasts and live streams that you do, right?
Yeah. The Boiling Point podcast is the one, the Eagle. That's the one I have up behind me. That's why I switched it, because we were talking about like political stuff, and that's where the Boiling Point podcast is. And then I'm actually wearing the Mayhem Media t-shirt, one of my Mayhem Media t-shirts.
Oh, there you go.
Because I'm doing the live stream later for the prediction show for AEW Revolution on Sunday.
That's a professional wrestling show, folks. Is it Saturday or Sunday?
No, it might be tomorrow. I'd have to look at my stuff.
Okay, I thought it was Saturday, but I could be totally wrong. Now, I have yet to watch an AEW pay-per-view, and I've heard that they are like 5 or 6 hours long. They're extremely long.
They are a little on the longer side, yeah, but you don't. At least I've only watched one. The only one that I actually ordered was when Sting retired, and that was actually Revolution in 2024, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So yeah, I ordered that pay-per-view. It was a great show. Especially Sting's retirement match was obviously what I tuned in for, but the rest of the card was a great card. Their matches that they put on together on pay-per-view, they're really good. They're always good. So I don't think that there's ever been one that's been bad. And I didn't get a chance. I'm not going to get a chance to watch this one, but I'm working on it so that I can watch more AEW pay-per-views.
Well, I told you how you could do it. You just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. I also started physical therapy this week, so that killed an entire day right there.
Okay. It is March 15th, Sunday night, March 15th.
Okay.
Sunday. So just let you know. One of those kind of things. And what time is your show tonight?
10 p.m.
Okay. That's coming up in just a bit.
Yep. About 40 minutes or so. I'll be going live to do the prediction show. I might even order it myself. And later on in the year, we're going to be doing watch-alongs with some of the AEW pay-per-views.
Oh, wow. Also. Well, there you go. Shoot, I had a whole list of things I was going to talk about tonight. What the heck? Where did I put them? Let's see what I did with them. Because unlike you, you're always prepared, I just go by the seat of my pants sometimes.
Yeah, I figured out really quickly that I tend to ramble or I go off on some crazy stuff, and if I have an outline or some structure in place, it keeps me on point.
Yeah, but yeah, not me. Hey, let me just read you some of the topics I have. This is over the years, over the all the time. I just throw it up here. Dating in your 50s, Bumble in my area versus Florida. Is OnlyFans a porn site, or is it not?
It's not supposed to be, but
No,
it is.
Health and fitness, men and women's sports, podcasters instead of dragging them away. No, excuse me, protesters instead of dragging them away, take their bags away. These are just notes that I give myself here. The quiz I did, the Andrew quiz that you watched this several months ago that I really haven't given any answers to it yet. I have to redo that one. TV shows I've seen and not seen.
I can contribute for a few minutes to several of those.
What was that?
I said I can contribute for a few minutes on several of those topics.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So, see, I've been doing something on my Facebook page lately. It's called the Question of the Day.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And it's been pretty cool getting all these answers from different people. And little by little, I'm expanding it. So I got another paper. I have a whole list of questions I'll be doing this. And there's other reasons why I'm doing it as well. But and I'm not going to get into it now because it's really boring. But just me personally, one of them is to generate topic ideas for later on, things of that sort, which is good. So anyway.
Yeah, I like that you do that. I bet that brings in a lot of interaction.
It does. It does. Especially when you're monetized. That's what you want. You're monetized on Facebook. So little by little. So I tell you what, my friend, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for tonight, and I'll probably come on your show here in a little bit.
Yeah, please. And you're definitely have an invite to join Superfly Johnny Lee. Shout out to the Superfly Johnny Lee and the Nice Guy Andy podcast crew. He's going to be guest hosting for me tonight since I'm going to be doing the predictions.
Okay, now I like I said, I don't know what I'm going to contribute to it. Just keep that in mind.
You can contribute some color commentary. You're good at color commentary, man. There's nothing wrong with having some good color on the podcasts.
All right, I appreciate that. All right, my friend, I'm going to let you go, so I'm going to close out my show. But I appreciate you coming on.
All right, I'll send you an invite and see you in a little over half hour or so.
Sounds good, my friend. Take care.
All right.
All right, that's my buddy JD. He's a frequent contributor to the show, and all those who are on here watching and listening, go check out the Boiling Point podcast and Mayhem Media. Go follow him, all that good stuff, and he does a really good job. I keep telling him he has a gift that a lot of people wish they had. That's for certain, and he does a very good job with it. Anyway, well, I'll go ahead and stop it for tonight. I talk about what I want to talk about, and things will be changing soon on here, and you'll understand once you start seeing the changes. I'm going to attempt. The word is attempt to be a wee bit more professional, just a wee bit more, but not lose the charm that is popcorn and whiskey, the charm that is me, the face who runs the place. Okay. And all that, I will stop it here. Thank you for being here, my friends. And until next time, this is me, the face who runs the place, popcorn and whiskey. So until next time, ciao.